Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Dan, and welcome to Destination Health Podcast, Finding Function in a Dysfunctional World, powered by Suburban Wellness Group. We're going to get right into it today. We have a good friend of mine that's on, and she is on fire today, and we're going to have a great conversation. It's going to be a little controversial, but that's okay. Dr. Seger and I, we are not ones to shy away from just a little controversy every now and again. It's good for the heart. It's good for the cardiovascular system. Dr. Seger, Judy, welcome to the podcast today. How are you?
Hey, like you said, I am totally on fire. There's
yes,
so
you
much
are
to talk
today.
About. We're Jersey boys and girls, so we're on fire all the time.
We are on fire all the time, and that's just the way it is. And we're gonna be discussing a lot of good stuff today. So, little bio about Dr. Seger. Dr. Seger, 30 years in alternative medicine. As a naturopath, ran 2 holistic health clinics, very successful, specializing in using ozone therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, detoxing for diseases such as Lyme and cancer. Started out yourself with many different types of health challenges at an early age. Saw 4 family members pass, die of cancer, and so forth. You decided to go on to a different path. Now you're over 60. I'm almost there, Dr. Seger. Over 60, and you have 0 health issues. You want to get all of that knowledge and you want to impart it on to everybody. Welcome to the show, and let's get right into it. I'm not going to even ask you a question right out of the gate. Tell me what's on your mind. That's the question.
I am totally on fire because things are happening in the world and people don't know what's happening behind the scenes, right? So here's the deal. So we're not going to say any particular word. We're just going to say it's the crazy times. That's what I call it. It's crazy times. And you better be ready for the changes, right? So if you think it's going to go back to the normal, it's not. It's done. Change. Be ready to hop on the bandwagon and change, right? And everybody's afraid of change. It's like, dude, get ready because this is just how it is. So what does that mean? That means boost your immune system every single day. What's very interesting, I was telling you before the show, Dan, is that I went to train a couple of docs and coming to find out that the professional circle is struggling just as much as everybody else. And all 100% pushing supplements and pills. So I am not anti-conventional world and I'm not 100% ultra. I think there has to be, like, you need common sense. Get your common sense on and figure out what do you need right here, right now. So if you're looking for the magic pill or you're looking for the magic shot, it doesn't matter. There is no magic, nothing. You have to put the whole picture together and figure out what do you need right here, right now. And that means a lot of different things. It could mean, eating better foods. It means therapies. It means this, it means that. But the bottom line is be ready for the change, right? And if you're afraid of that change, that actually blocks you and actually makes your body more acidic. And now you have another problem. So you need to get out of that negative mode. It's like, oh, change. Oh, wow, I get to do something better for my body and my health, the family,
Right. So what does that mean, doing something better for your body and for your health? Because, patients are coming in, oh, Dr. Dan, I'm taking vitamin C. Okay, that's good. What else are you doing? Right? Yeah, there's got to be more than just taking vitamin C, because I'm taking vitamin C, but yet I'm eating fast foods, I'm eating processed foods, and I'm not exercising. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything to help my body. So tell me, in the world of today, as you said, we're not going to mention any names. We're not going to mention any conditions, but what would you do? What do you do to boost your immune system?
Yeah, so here's the thing. First off is if you're taking vitamins, yes, that's great. Yeah, that's fine, not a problem. But what is the main issue? Like, first you got to step back and say, is there anxiety an issue? Are you not sleeping? Is it low energy? Are you getting headaches? Are you starting to get constipated? Like, if something's changing, like, you should still be snapping. Like, you should feel good, right? I said I'm over 60 and I got energy. I feel good. I'm ready to rock and roll. I work out every single day down by the beach, right?
Listen, Dr. Seger, old people rule. That's all I got to say.
Who said old? Wait a minute.
That's right. Those people that got that 6-0. I was throwing the football yesterday. I still have it, by the way. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I could still pop it 45, 50
That's
yards.
right. You look great.
On a dime. Dr. Seeger on
You
a
look
dime. Anyway, thank you. So do you. So anyway.
So what you got to look at is what is the issue, right? So I remember when this crazy stuff all started, like I knew it was coming down the pipe. The professional circle was warning us. They were doing the homework. They said, listen, it's coming, be ready, whatever. Okay, great. So it hit all of us at different times, right? Sometimes you get a little bit more tired. You're not sleeping good. You start thinking like, oh, I do have to change. And, now I'm getting a little bit worried. We all went through that. Like if somebody says they didn't, they're lying. It's like, I went through it. It's like, oh my God, what does that change mean that I could help more people in a good way and not get shut down? Because a lot of practitioners are getting shut down, right? So tiredness was a big issue. Not sleeping well is another issue. So what do you do to boost your system up? First things first is to say, all right, how do I get more oxygen in my system? I'm all about oxygen and detox. That's my jam. It healed me in 30 years of everything I've ever had, from gallstones, kidney stones, to Lyme disease, to frozen shoulders, many. I was sick for the first 25 years of my life, like sick all the time. So now I'm like never sick. It's like, okay, why? So detoxing means it's like a reset. It's like, you know what? Something's not right. I'm not doing well. Let me just take off a day or 3 and eat less or hardly at all, do some juicing, some enemas, some detoxing with the bath, sweating, whatever, just to reset. There's something that happens when you stop eating or like really minimal eating and your mind gets clearer and sharper. It just does. It's just like,
get rid of that brain fog that's going on.
Exactly. It just all of a sudden like the bam, even if you do one day, I don't care, but just take a day where nothing, right? And then you just like put your feet up, don't do nothing. And, a lot of us are like, oh my God, like, I have family obligations, I have a business to run, and we get guilty feeling that guilt. I was like, no, just take care of yourself. That's huge right there. That's what detoxing is all about. Letting your body rest, resetting, right? You're not eating as much, get off the stupid phone and computer, just stop, right? Then the next thing is, how do you build up your immune system? Oxygen. So I'm a big proponent of hyperbaric oxygen. Love it. I used to have one in my clinic. A lot of chiros have it, right, Dr. Seger? Like the soft shell hyperbaric chambers. Yeah.
Explain a little bit more about hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Yeah. So it's been like around for over 300 years.
Long time,
right? This is not something that's
longer than you and I.
No, seriously, it's not a pudding that was made yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It's been around 300 years. It was made for the divers because Diver Dan. Do you remember that show, Diver Dan?
I actually remember the show.
With a big helmet.
I remember the show, Diver Dan. I was hoping you weren't going to bring that up,
well,
Judy.
Have to, Diver Dan. And so what was happening is, as the divers would come up after they've been walking on the bottom of the ocean floor, they were getting something called the bends, which was causing their blood not to acclimate as they were coming up through the depths, and they were dying. And so they created this chamber that pressurizes their blood so that they don't have any problems. Well, come to find out, hey, if you're getting more oxygen to the blood and equalizing everything, can it help other things? And the answer is yes. It could help everything from wound healing to carbon monoxide poisoning to there's strokes. I used to use it for strokes all the time. A lot of different things. So what it does, it pushes the blood down to the plasma level, all the way hard push. And then that super oxygenates the blood. And then the body is like, whoa, I just got a whole lot of oxygen. And it starts to equalize and get stronger, which of course boosts the immune system, right? So it's really powerful. The disadvantage, of course, is that with hyperbaric oxygen, like a lot of alternative medicine, natural therapy stuff, you can't just do it once. It just doesn't work. You got to do it a number of times.
It's got to be repetitive, right?
It got to be repetitive. That's the only thing. And people are like, oh, you're taking my money. No, dude, it just takes that long to get your body equalized, because you've had like 30 years or 40 years of garbage hitting your blood. And now it's going to take a little bit to fix that. So that's number one. Then the ozone therapy is 3 oxygen atoms that bind together. And that's a little bit different concept. So what that happens is, as it comes into the body, and it comes in different ways, we could talk about that. But as it comes in, the body's like, oh, I have yeast and bacteria and these pathogens, toxins. The ozone splits it up, and then it boosts the immune system up that way. So it's like, oh, you could do hyperbaric, you could do ozone, anything you're getting blood to get more oxygenated. I mean, you could do deep breathing, yes, but that's just not enough nowadays with the crazy times. You got to get a little bit more aggressive with your therapies to get that immune system so strong that you don't have any worries whatsoever.
Yeah, you know what? That's extremely important. And we do have several people. Actually, we got more people now that are tuning in. So if anybody has any questions for Dr. Seger, she's ready to rock and roll today.
Oh, man,
she's on fire.
I am on fire today.
So anybody shoot away. Andrea, I know that you're watching out there. So she's a former student of mine. So if you have any questions, let me know. So it's used to help build the immune system. You mentioned a bunch of other conditions that can be helped. How does it help something like cancer?
Yeah, so we can't go there. So just forget it.
No, we can't go there?
No, we could only say this, okay? Because
tell me, what can you say?
What can I say, right? You know, they shut us down for everything. Well, this is what we can say, that when you have a substance that boosts and enriches the red blood cell, that makes the immune system stronger, it can get rid of anything that doesn't belong in the body. Right? So everybody's listening is like, you got, I do my wink, 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 wink means that what it's doing is actually going in there, whether it's ozone or you're doing hyperbaric oxygen, anything that goes in there and it's going after the toxins, right? Everybody's seen my wink, that it goes in there and says, hey, you don't belong in here. And it helps to push it out and boost the immune system. That's all we can say, which is fine. Everybody knows what we're saying, right? It's fine. It's all good. It's just that you have to be consistent in getting it on a regular basis. And that's the key. Everybody thinks, oh, it's like my supplement pill. I take it once a day and we're good. No, dude, you can't do that. It doesn't work like
you're not taking it once a day. And
no. You gotta have a program. You gotta obviously the food changes and movement, all those help, and the detox, it helps. But at this point, Dr. Dan, listen, I haven't seen in 30 years how bad it's gotten in the last 10 years. It's insane. And never mind the crazy times, it is crazy the last 10 years. It's not just they come in with Lyme disease. Now they have Epstein-Barr. Now they have chronic fatigue. Now they have Hashimoto's. It's like bam, bam, bam.
Right. Patients aren't coming in with just one condition. There's a lot of complicating factors that are coming on. It's interesting. So for the students that are watching this today, what did I say the first week in the first video that I put up, that you're not going to have simple weight loss? There's no such thing as simple weight loss, right, Dr. Seger? There's no such thing as simple weight loss. There's 1,000 complicating factors that come into play. It could be this, it could be that, and it's just so crazy when it comes to that. Now, as you get older, it gets a little bit more difficult to remain healthier, right? Body is beginning to break down. Okay. But we can combat that, right? You want to, once you hit that 50, 55, things change a little bit. Talk about that.
Let's just jump on weight loss bandwagon. I've never done a weight loss program in all my career. I don't believe in it. Here's what I did find out. The toxins that come into your body, right? So let's talk about that for a second. So you're getting toxins from the air that you breathe. I mean, you walk outside. Like, I traveled around the world once in my life, thinking I would find a country that doesn't have the level of toxins that the US does. There is no such thing. There's no such thing. I was so bummed out. I thought, oh, Thailand will be clean. Hell no, that was full of toxins. I was like, what? What do you mean there's toxins in Thailand? They were doing this, they smoke they put fire on the rice paddies every year. So you literally cannot go outside because it gets so bad, and all the pesticides and everything. And then you go
flying around.
Panama, Central America. Well, then they're spraying all the coffee beans. Every mountain with coffee was sprayed and sprayed and sprayed. And I was getting sick. I said, why am I getting sick? It's like, because they're spraying. So every country had their issues. And I'm like, well, doggone it. The question is, where does that go? Because when I was first getting hit with all this stuff, I was like, oh, I'll just, just do some herbs and, just sweat a little bit like everybody else was thinking, right? And that wasn't working. It's like, whoa, where's it going? It gets stored in the fat of your body. So this whole weight loss thing, it's not the issue. It's that it's holding on because now your body's in emergency mode and protecting your organs. Because if you're getting hit with those toxins, whether it's the air that you breathe, the water that you drink, the food that you eat, doesn't matter. If you're not stopping those toxins and getting rid of them on some level on a daily basis. I used to say, oh, every 3 months do a detox. That's not enough anymore. You got to do a little bit every day, a little bit of sweating, maybe eating a little bit of beets to clean up the liver, maybe drinking a little bit, something to get those toxins out on a daily. And then of course, go in your house with the garbage bag and take all the poison out of your bathroom, right? Guys with the shaving cream, dude, what are you doing? Like get rid of, women with their makeup, like go natural. You gotta go, it's that serious now. Like I never say that, but it's really, really serious. The amount of toxins. Why is cancer on the rise? You would think by now cancer's on the down low. No, it's on the rise because of all the toxins. And then people in the kitchen and in the garage and all this chemicals and everything else, it adds up. So you got to go in your house, clean up all that stuff, right? Clean up all the EMS, electromagnetic field, and then detox every single day, little bit. If you're not doing that on a daily basis, I guarantee you the weight's going to come on, stay on, and you're going to be like, well, hell, I'm 50. Why do I still got all this weight going on? So because you're holding on to it and you're not doing anything to get rid of it. Got to be done on some level.
I agree, because when I get somebody in, it starts. And although we may call it a reset or a detox, I'm changing their life. They don't realize that where it's going to be done every day. I love the patient that says, when do I get to go back to eating normal again?
Oh,
I'm like, oh, geez. I say, that's just not going to happen. That's just not good. So we have a bunch of people watching us right now.
Cool.
So if you have a question for Dr. Seger, put it in the comment section below, and we will make sure she gets to it. We're talking about biohacking. We're talking about hyperbaric oxygen therapy. We're talking about resets and detoxification, talking about ozone therapy, talking about being over 50 years old, almost 60.
And feeling good at this age, right?
I do.
50s and 60s, you should have the energy, sleeping good and being able to do what you want to do. No aches and pain. This is bullshit that everybody's like, oh, my shoulder hurt. I had that frozen shoulder. Let me tell you that story quick, Dr. Dan. So I had a frozen shoulder. I said, I never had a frozen shoulder in my whole life. What the hell is this? I've been an athlete, been swimming, playing basketball, racquetball, all this kind of stuff. And one day I woke up and I couldn't lift my shoulders, my arms above my shoulders, and I couldn't put my bra on, like I couldn't move, and I couldn't swim, and I was like, what? And I tried everything. I did, the arnica gel and this and that, physical therapy. I went to the best physical therapist in the state of Florida. Oh, I'm shoulder expert. I could fix that. He couldn't fix it, right? I got stronger, but I still had the pain. Like it was really hurting, right? And I'm like, well, I'm getting old, right? I mean, I didn't know what else to do. And then thank God I had a doctor friend who said, well, do Prolozone. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, what's that? Prolozone, what? That's taking ozone shot. And what they do is they put procaine in first to freeze the area, right? And then they're putting in a substance with vitamins and minerals because you want those amino acids. Amino acids are your building blocks of protein, right?
They are your friends. Yes.
Yeah. And you know this. And so when you put that in, then you put the ozone in, it spreads it. In 10 seconds, I was able to lift my arms up. I was like, what the hell? It just had 10 seconds and I've been suffering for a year.
Went, yeah.
What? And I have, so now, of course, this is what I do. That was 3 years ago already. And so now I help people with knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, because I'm like, if I feel good, I want to help other people. Nobody should be in pain. And it never came back. People were like, oh, well, did that come back? I said, well, listen, I detox all the time and I only had to have one shot and never came back. Now, some of the people, if they're not detoxing and taking care of themselves, they might have to have 2 shots, 3 shots. We just had somebody osteoarthritis in her knees, a gymnast all her life, 52 years old, couldn't go down the stairs, couldn't go up the stairs. We gave her 2 shots, done. Her knees are fine.
Knees are good.
Fine. Ozone. Like who knows does? Like, and it's been around 150
That's all we say.
years.
That's all we say is ozone. We have a question, Dr. Seger. We have a question. It's coming from Christy. Okay. What is the best thing to do daily to take good care of your liver? I don't detox naturally the way I'm supposed to, and consistently need to do a liver detox? Great question, Christy.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, your liver. Okay, just for background, this is obviously must be one of your students, Dr. Dan, because that's a very smart question. You train your people
Christy is in the business, so she's in the business, so she's asking for her own edification, and she wants her appetite whetted to get smarter. So there you go.
No, absolutely. So I'm 100% all about the liver and the colon, because the liver is your 3-pound organ underneath your right rib cage that is like involved with about 500 functions. When I started this 30 years ago, we knew about 100. Now 500 different things that the liver does, from digesting fats to metabolizing glucose, and it's just so mind-boggling, right? So you do have to take care of the liver, because as the toxins are coming in, you gotta have that liver functioning to be able to help you filter along with your other elimination channels, right? So liver is, listen, if you're thinking to go to the health food store and get one of those little box liver packages, oh, you're gonna detox for 21 days, that's BS. It's not, no, exactly. It's not gonna work. It's just like, why waste your time? Don't go there. That herb's been sitting there like for a year and there's no potency whatsoever.
It's been sitting there longer.
No, listen, I'm gonna share with your people my Fab 4 herbs, and I'm gonna tell them exactly how to do this. This is the stuff I teach my clients. I don't hold back. I give everything to everybody because I want you guys well. So first off, start out slow with every single day, making sure that you're getting beets in on some level. Beets, raw, cooked, juice, a little bit at a time. You don't even need. There's betaine compound in there that helps the liver break down. I love beets on every single level, right? If you don't like beets, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Just suck it up, just eat it. But here's the herbs that I recommend. The Oregon grapefruit, dandelion root, turkey rhubarb root, and burdock root. So all roots, because the roots go down and they grab up the minerals, and then they help to get the compound into your liver like nothing else can. So here's how you do it. You go to Amazon or wherever, you get yourself a pound of dandelion root organic. That's it, right? Get a pound of it, or the other herbs that I mentioned. And then you're going to put a pot of water on the stove. You're going to bring it to a boil. You're going to put in 4 tablespoons of the herb. Done. Let it sit there for 4 hours. Drink that every day for the next few days. I don't recommend doing that every single day because it is strong. I mean, we just made a really strong concoction there, right? It's really going to shake, rattle, and roll your liver. You don't want to go crazy on it, but you want to do it on a periodic basis, right? So foods, having that. Juicing, yeah, I haven't seen it consistently work. Like some people say, well, what about, carrot juice and all that? Coffee enemas, no, that's the gold standard. Oh, coffee enemas stimulates the liver like nothing else can. The challenge is people don't get that you got to have that coffee sitting in there at least 10 minutes. And it's hard to do because it's like, oh, I gotta go. And guys, especially, don't do coffee enema. I'm like, dude, just stick it up your butt, shut up, and call me in the morning. They feel so much better. I'm like, oh my God, I feel so clean. What just happened? I'm like, yeah, the coffee goes in there and stimulates the hepatic flexure, which is where the liver is behind in the colon. And then it's like, ooh, it gets a little bit stimulated and you feel better. It stimulates it. Now you could do castor oil packs, a little bit messy, a little bit of pain in the neck. So I don't really recommend that all the time, except if you're doing a detox. But the coffee enema, couple times a week, it just like, man, that thing rock and rolls.
It rocks and rolls it. Christy wants to know, can you say, she has a couple of questions. What about beet powder, and what were the beet sources again that you can get?
Yeah, so beet powder I have definitely tried. It's a good quick go-to, but it's not beets, right? Listen, anytime you go to the health food store and you get anything in a bottle, it's never, ever, ever, ever going to be as potent as the real thing, right? So if you're traveling, you're just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a road trip to go see grandma. Okay, great. Then go take your beet powder. But really, if you're going to do this right and you're going to be concerned about your liver, you're going to have to do beets. Just going to have to either eat them, steam it, shred it, juice it, anything like that is fine, right? That and just
Christy has said that she doesn't like beets, but that's okay. You're just going to have to cook it some way to get mix some.
It with something. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like beets either. I didn't. And I just started mixing it with things I did like, and I just put a little bit in there. Now it's like, that doesn't even have a flavor to it. You could even
Italian-American beets, cut it up, onions, you make a little salad
thing. Europeans, we eat beets all the time. We don't even think about it, right? So it's fine. You just mix it with other things. So that's your go-to. But the herbs are the ones that'll shake, rattle, and roll thing, and the coffee enema. Just saying.
Yes. And Naomi is my partner on Wednesdays with Wellness Wednesday Worldwide. And she said, liver, 500 functions. It's amazing. And to think, if you aren't avoiding toxins, that poor liver cannot do its job.
Yeah, so in 30 years, I've been working with people with cancer because my family died of it, and I knew I was going down that route if I didn't stop doing. I was eating pizza every week. Dan, it was like, what? Like, I would eat a whole pizza pie. And Jersey's got the best pizza.
So if you're in North Jersey, you're driving in Essex County, you're in Bloomfield, you're in North Newark. Yeah, you're going by one of the pizzerias. You got to go. You got to have a slice or two.
But I was eating a lot.
Yeah.
And I was drinking my Coca-Cola with that. And I was having my chocolate chip cookies out. So I was very, very sick. I had a horrible diet, right? Then it was like, oh, I got to change this up, right? So when I stopped that and became a vegetarian and I went on this whole colon liver cleansing route and learned how to do it correctly, it was like, yes, it has to be done, because if you don't give your liver a break on a regular basis, you will pay the price. And so the next part of that was with people with cancer. Every single person that ever comes to me, if they've had cancer and it comes back, it's metastasized into the liver every single time. Why? Because the liver's main job is to, hey, filter out. Oh, I can't filter anymore because I've had chemo and radiation. Now the liver's screaming and you're stuck because now the liver is plugged up with cancer. Hey, who wants that? Right? So Christy, go eat your beets.
She said, okay. And she put a little face next to it that was green. They aren't that bad. Little extra virgin olive oil, little balsamic vinaigrette, cut
salt.
up some.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could cut up some onions and do it like, we used to do back in the day. Yeah. I ate it all the time. My friends that were outside the neighborhood, they made fun of me, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I was the healthy one. They weren't. So we've discussed now that we don't want to take a magic pill. It's just not about taking a supplement. It's about changing your lifestyle. You mentioned sleep during this. My goodness, sleep is so important. Let's talk a few seconds about sleep.
Yeah, here's the issue. During sleep is when your body rebuilds and repairs itself. So all the protein in your body will go in and say, hey, I don't have to worry about digestion now. I don't have to worry about brain function now. I could focus 100% on rebuilding and repairing. And that's made up of amino acids, which are the building blocks of a protein molecule, right? So if you're not sleeping well, which is like 80% of the people, it's like horrible. Your hormones are off. So the endocrine system, your hormone producing glands, what is the master organ there? It's the liver. It's the liver. So it comes back to that liver, right? So if you are focused on cleaning out that liver, you're going to sleep better, right? And so I've tried all the, the hormonal panels and progesterone creams and all these things for my clients. And it's like, it works to some level, right? Maybe helps with hot flashes or night sweats and all that stuff. Great. Okay, now you're feeling a little bit better. But sometimes the libido doesn't come back up and it's like, everybody's frustrated, right? And then the weight starts going back and, oh my God, the weight's on again, right? And then you're not sleeping on top of it. It's like, it just keeps building, right? So my jam is go down to that liver, get the colon cleansed out. And then next thing you know, you are not only sleeping better, but the weight goes off, the pain, inflammation, because your body's protein levels are building and repairing the way they're supposed to, right? So at nighttime, for example, having a nice detox bath where you're putting in some baking soda, Epsom salt, sea salt, helps to draw out those poisons, plus you're sweating, helps to relax the whole system, right? And as you then sleep and you say, oh, but I'm still waking up about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, that's a hormonal issue. But so everybody goes to the thyroid and says, oh, let me fix the thyroid. And it's like, no, fix the liver. You don't have to worry about the thyroid, right? Everybody's asking me, well, maybe I should take something for the thyroid. Maybe I should take something for adrenals. Maybe I should take, it's like, you could go crazy on this. Like every friend who's a doc, they keep doing this. It's like, keep it simple, right? What is the core issue? And what is that core system in your body that's really blocked and not working the way it needs to? Get that unblocked and bam, that's where the energy comes back. That's where the weight comes off. That's where the pain goes down, right? Go to the core. That's how I was taught as a naturopath 30 years ago. And I still practice that to this day. Get to the core, get to the root issue.
Pause. Right.
Right. And then bam.
I agree with you, because every patient that comes into my office, we do that reset. And for those patients that are listening today and the students that are listening today, you know that, because I've educated. I always look at the liver, number one, because you can look at the leaky gut, you can do this, you can do that. Always do that reset as you go. So that's very important.
Do you do the colon cleanse with that too, Dr. Dan?
We don't do the colon cleanse, so I want to learn more about that. So tell me a little bit about the colon cleanse.
Yeah, so if you don't do here, so when I first started, I came out of naturopathic school. So here I was the pizza queen for all these years, right? And now I'm learning all about this whole.
Did you have pepperoni on the pizza?
No, I didn't. I was straight cheese, baby. Give me the cheese and
extra cheese.
Extra. Where it's gooey, when you're taking the bite and it's
just a girl after my own heart. Stomach.
And then the oil is dripping and the good Italian oregano. Oh my God, it was so good.
Forget about it. Forget about it. Yeah. Forget about it. Yes.
So when I had the change, I had to realize, I can't have pizza now. Okay. And it was hard because I was so addicted. I was really addicted to it. It was tough. The first 2 years were tough. And so when I became a naturopath and I was also an herbalist, they said, here's how you do your first detox. You take a cup of olive oil and a cup of lemon juice. You drink your cup of olive oil and then you drink your cup of lemon juice. I must have tried a million times. I puked every single time. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't do it.
What was it? Was it the olive oil that just couldn't get?
I thought so, but I couldn't do the lemon juice either. I was so toxic.
Really?
Toxic. I couldn't do it, right? So then fast forward to that was I was 18, 19, 20. Tried again in my 20s, early 20s, I couldn't do it. It wasn't until my 30s that I could actually figure out how I could do this. And it was not the cup. It was too much. It was too much. And here's how I learned. When I start, you know how it is when you're in your clinic and you start seeing patterns, you see what works and what doesn't work with your clients. So I had a woman come in, she was an esthetician, and she was so liver plugged up. She had yellow around her mouth, right? Yeah. She was really in trouble. And she said, I'm always tired. She's an esthetician. She had adult onset acne. She was tired all the time. And I had done a talk at a group. And she said, I need you. I know you have an answer for me. I'm like, sure, yeah, come on in. At that time, I was young, arrogant. I could heal the world. I could take care of you. No, she came in and she did the same thing I did in my 20s. She was puking the whole time. All night long, she'd puke and puke. Right. And puke. And I said, oh my God, I got to fix this. And I said, why do you keep coming back to me? She said, because I know you're going to help me find an answer. And I did. I took that very seriously. I'm all about helping people and I really want them to succeed. So I said, okay, if a cup of olive oil and a cup of lemon juice is not working, it didn't work for me either. Let's cut it down, right? Let's cut it down. You know what I found out? 3 tablespoons olive oil, 3 tablespoons lemon juice. That's it. And that still got results with people. And they could handle it. And we put it in a blender with little grapefruit juice and the lemon juice, olive oil. It was great. They could handle it. They felt better. And we did the coffee enemas. We did all this cleansing, all this stuff. That's the difference. You go little at a time. Don't push it on your body. It gets to be too much. So here's what we did, what I learned about the colon. When you clean the colon out first, right? Doing the coffee enemas or colon hydrotherapy, whatever you're doing, your liver has an avenue for it to release the toxins, because when you don't do that, then what happens is that you start puking because the liver doesn't have a channel to get rid of the toxins. So I learned, I said, okay. So when this Debbie came in, I was like, okay, let's clean the colon first. Let's give her the liver detox drink. And next thing you know, she was like, oh my God, the yellow went away. And within a week, her energy went up. She felt fantastic. But the colon has to be cleansed. And you got 5 feet of colon. You got 5 feet. That's a lot of colon, right? And you could have diverticulitis. Dr. Oz, very famous. I love Dr. Oz. He really is a nice guy, but he doesn't believe in colon hydrotherapy. A year later, he got polyps. And I was like, yeah, you know why? Because he didn't believe in colon hydrotherapy. And he was doing all this juicing and salads. It's just too much. It's just too much for you. You got to cleanse that colon on a regular basis. And when you do that, Now the body gets a chance to clean out the colon so that the liver does its job to get rid of the toxins, right? So you got to do both. I've never seen where you do just the liver or just the colon and get results. That 1-2 combo, that's the winner.
And for those of you who do not know Dr. Judy, but know me, you can imagine the conversations that we have offline. It is really high intense. I got to say that to you. All right. So it is all good. I don't know, Dr. Judy, I think we're making an argument today for doing a live podcast every couple of weeks or something like that. I don't know. We're going to have to discuss this.
Oh,
yeah. I think
and we're not even getting into the juicy stuff yet.
We haven't even gotten into the juicy stuff. And oh, geez. All right. We have a little bit more. All right. So what juicy stuff do you want to talk about? I'm going to give you the first one. What's on your mind? Give us a juicy one.
This really stirs my boat, stirs my sauce, stirs something. I'm stirred up. Okay, so
when you're making pizza, you got the sauce going, you got the gravy going, you put that on there, you put a little cheese in there, you put it into the oven.
Yeah,
and a little homemade red wine never hurt anybody, I guess.
Yeah, so here, that's exactly right. So this is what's stirring me up. In my world, in my 30 years of watching this, when I first started out, I was very, very fortunate to be learning from true master healers. I won't even say on this show what are the things I've seen heal, but it's pretty wild, right? So Dr. John Christopher, very famous herbalist. Dr. Bernard Jensen, very famous world-class nutritionist who healed himself of paralysis at 84. I watched him with my own eyes, walking down the conference pathway, because he healed himself at 84, right? These are like stellar, and I was able to study with them. So I brought this to my clinic. Here's what I'm seeing right now during these crazy times is that there are now 7 countries, only 7, that are allowing this ozone therapy to be used in hospitals and clinics over there. And there are even some countries that are allowing double-blind studies, which is unheard of, even though it's on a very small scale. And what's happening is as they are doing the studies, they're seeing it healing and boosting the immune system so high that it's healing people. And that's all I could say, right? But here's what's stirring my pot is that, number one, that the politics of these countries are not allowing us to experience this type of therapy. Mm-hmm. And this is just oxygen. It's got like 0.000007% side effect, right? Mm-hmm. So that's 5 zeros, right? 0.000007%. So the side effects are like minimal. There's minimal side effects with ozone therapy, and same with hyperbaric oxygen, right? Why are we not getting the word out about this, right? Why are people not learning? Nikolai Tesla created the first ozone generator back in the late 1800s, and everybody knows Tesla for his cars. Nobody knows that he created it. Well, what happened? JP Morgan said, hey, I want to invest in you, Tesla, because I think this machine is going to go somewhere. It's helping with germs. It's helping with gangrene. It's helping in the surgery room so that people are not getting infections. This is exciting stuff. Somebody came along and said, hey, JP, why don't you come along with us and get in the pharmaceutical cartel, and you'll make a whole lot more money with that. JP Morgan went like this, Tesla went like this, and you never heard about ozone therapy again. What the hell happened, right? Money, right? It's always about that. So that stirs my pot, because it's like, listen, get educated that this is safe stuff. It's been around for 150 years for the ozone, 300 years for the hyperbaric. It's around. Don't think that you could just go to the health food store and get some kind of herb or pill, or go change your diet and become a keto, paleo, vegetarian. Those are fine, but it's not going to heal you. Not anymore. I used to say that, but as of 10 years ago, I stopped, because I'm seeing.
You've changed it. You've changed.
Yeah, have to. Have to. This has gotten crazy, right? And we have to up our game as practitioners and as people of this world, human beings. We need to up our game with things that are proven that can help our immune system beyond anything else out there.
Very important to boost your immune system at this time. There's no doubt about it. Another thing that we were talking about that stirs your pot: physician, heal thyself. Oh, and you were really, before we got on, you were really rocking and rolling. Yeah, you were what I think the new word is triggered. I really don't know. My nieces and my nephews, Uncle Dan, you've triggered me. I'm like, what does that mean? I've triggered you. Come here, I'll trigger you, right? So people that are healthcare practitioners, they're not healthy. They haven't healed themselves. You say run for the hills.
Run for the hills. If there's, first of all, here's a couple of things that you guys need to know. I'm in a professional circle with some very big names in industry. I will never call them out because ethically, I think it's not my place. It's just not who I am. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, did you know, Hasbro, I'm not going to do that. No, ethically, that's just wrong. It's what I'm going to do is warn everybody and say, look, if they are not healed, and here's what I just learned, because I was training some doctors not too long ago, come to find out they're getting COVID, they're getting their immune system shot, they're not able to heal themselves of many different things. Like they'll get on the professional circle and say, oh, I have eczema, oh, I have chronic fatigue, I can't, and I'm like, I understand that everybody could have issues. I mean, I had my frozen shoulders, right? I had Lyme disease in 2010. I get that. But then you should be able to heal it. Like you should know what does that
what to do
to heal it. Yeah,
you should know what to do.
No, it's the blind leading the blind. So here's the things to watch for. If they don't look healthy, like they should be glowing, they should have energy, they should be talking about, oh yeah, I'm going hiking and boogie boarding. They should be talking like energy that is positive, right? And if they're like, not feeling that and don't look it and saying, oh, you just need to take 200 supplements a day. It's like, yeah, that pays their rent, but that's not going to help you, right? Because supplements alone are not enough, right? So when you hear physicians, like ask them straight out, says, hey, how healthy are you feeling? How are you doing? And what's going on, right? And yeah, they might lie and say, oh, I don't have anything. But on the whole, they will say, oh yeah, I've had things happen. And, I've been struggling with different things. And that's the ones you say, well, maybe you don't want them on your team. You have to have a healing team. Right. So having someone like you, Dr. Dan, on the team, that's given, right? Somebody for the structural, somebody for nutrition, somebody for the whole picture, somebody to monitor your blood work, all that's your team, right? So that when you're like, hey, I'm not sure what's going on, let me get some blood work done. Let me get an assessment done. Okay, great. Now but it better be from somebody who's sparking, they're looking good, they're feeling good, they have the energy, and that that they know how to heal whatever's going on. It has to be anything. Don't tell me, well, right now, crazy times, we don't know how to heal it. Yes, you do. Yeah, there's answers out there, right? And if they don't know, it's like, why would you go to them? Why would you?
Yeah, you have to go to somebody who if they say they don't know, they have to find out what those answers are. Yeah. You can't just sit there and say, no, I don't know. It's kind of like back in the day, when my dad was alive, going to the cardiologist, and he's probably got a metabolic syndrome type of a thing going on, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he says to my dad, you got to stop smoking.
Well, that was back in the day when smoking was considered okay, right?
Healthy. It was healthy. It was healthy for you, but it wasn't healthy for a lot of people. That's for sure. So, it's kind of the same. What else is bothering you? What else you have going on in your mind?
Yeah. So here's the thing is I'm really, really stirred up that people think everything is in a one simple, give me this package, right? And I'm not going to say what it is, but wink, wink, right? Everybody's like waiting for the delivery of something to come along and protect them. Dude, like I was walking yesterday and it just really stirred my boat. And I'm walking outside. Now I'm in Florida. I'm walking next to the beach and everybody had their mask, that when they passed me, they had to put this mask on. And I'm like, are you insane? Are you insane? You think this mask is going to protect? It's not going to help you, right? There is a perfect example. I love TikTok. I don't know if you know TikTok, Dr. Dan.
Yeah, I know who TikTok is. Yeah,
so much fun. I'm on TikTok all the time. And this firefighter guy, did a perfect example. He was out in the mountains of Colorado, and when you're breathing out cold, you could see the steam, right? He did something very interesting that I want to share with your people. Is he took all the different types of masks, the NPK thing and the cloth mask and the one that goes on your whole face that looks like you're a scuba diver. Like he did all of them. And every single one he put on, you could still see the steam coming out. So of course it's like, okay, that's common sense. If it's steam is going out of the mask, that means things could still come in, right? It is not a protector, right? What protects you? Your immune system, right? So make sure you're, hey, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you're at peace, you're making sure that everything is calm, no anxiety, you're sleeping well, right? Make sure that you're doing something for your immune system. And it's not about the pill. Vitamin C is just a small little part of that. That is
it's part of the pie that you need to do on a regular basis. You're making a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle we're talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it has to be at
really,
this point a
right.
daily.
It's a lifestyle.
You cannot go back to thinking, oh, I could have wine every night. Once a week now. I tell people, listen, the alcohol is damaging your liver because of all the things that are happening and the stress that's happening. I used to say, oh yeah, 1 glass of wine, you're fine. Not anymore. It's down to 1 glass a week. That's it, right? Junk food once a week, right? Get out there and sweat, get out there, because there is no answer to say one thing is going to do it. Whether it's the conventional world or my world, alternative, it's no more. Those days are done. The change is, okay, let's put together, what does that include then? All right, I want to do liver and colon. I'm going to make sure that every single day I'm doing a little detox, making sure I'm happy, right? Where's your happy zone? Like that's my thing on TikTok. I'm called the happy health nut, because I want to get people to understand being happy is better than being a vegetarian, better than eating organic, better than taking vitamin C. Because when you're happy, your body becomes more alkaline and your immune system goes up. Right? I mean, that's it.
And for patients that are listening today, these are clinical pearls. I had Dr. Judy, I had a patient earlier today, and she's on a reset, she's on a detox, and she's just got that quarantine or that COVID fatigue thing going on. And I said, whoa, I'm not a therapist, but I do have somebody that I know that's becoming an expert in this field. I may have to refer you to this individual. Yeah. But I said, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. And let's do this. By the end of the consultation, she was very happy. You can see that she had a glow. There was an aura around her face. And she was like, oh, I have a plan more for today and what I need to do. And I said, that's right. I said, smart thing to do. Have a plan and make sure you're doing things every day, that lifestyle. Because it's so easy. It is. It's so easy to eat the pizza. It is. And my mother, every Friday night, made 50 pizzas, by the way. Went to the different restaurants in North Newark. And we had kids over for decades every Friday night. But it was a little bit different, it wasn't preservatives that she had, when she was making the pizza.
Fresh stuff.
It was, forget about it. It was really the good stuff. So it was really good. So, important looking at the lifestyle and what Dr. Judy is saying.
Yeah, and having the pizza still once in a while. I mean, I'm not addicted to it anymore. I have it maybe like once a month now. I don't miss it. I enjoy it now. I used to do that whole vegan where, and no, listen, I want my real Italian pizza. So I would have it once a month. I have it my favorite spot I go to, but I'm not addicted anymore. And and as you make the changes and you feel better, like we talked earlier, Dr. Dan, about people wanting to go back to their old ways. You don't really want to, because you feel better and your taste buds change.
You are 100% correct. Dealing with a particular patient, RA, hip replacements, knee replacements, helped her out, changed her lifestyle, and she went back, she fell, she failed. I wasn't mad at her. On vacation in Florida, Disney, and she ate something that wasn't part of the lifestyle. And she said that she felt really bad for a couple of days. I do the same thing every now and again. There's a tournament, there's a hockey tournament my son is playing in, and you're hungry. You've been in a rink for 6 or 7 hours. You've watched 3 games. The hotel's over an hour away. You know, sometimes you can't plan and sometimes you can't because it just doesn't work out. And you go get that slice of pizza. Or if you get that fast food hamburger, boy, I did that once and I felt really bad. My son, we slept. We got home to the hotel and we just slept until the next day because
it's
our
almost
body.
Better, it's almost better to go hungry. I've been in the same situation many times. You know, you're going all day and you're like, oh, I like, what else is there? So I've learned to pack, you know, protein bars and snacky stuff and all that. But sometimes even then you forget. But it's better to actually now go hungry. It's just like you're starving and, you know, have a hot cocoa, which has got the sugar in it. But all the chemicals now that are in those hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, it's beyond what we grew up with, Dr. Dan, because when we were younger, they didn't have all that garbage in it. And that's changed completely. And it's those chemicals in there that really do the damage, right? And so that's what you have to avoid. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, it used to be extra virgin olive oil. Now it's corn
Canola
oil or canola
oil.
oil, and all those oils become rancid when you heat them
and they're
at higher temperature. Yeah, it's just not good. We're almost done with our time, believe it or not. We're gonna have you come back on. I'm thinking maybe next week. I think this is going to be a regular Tuesday for us, perhaps. We're gonna have to discuss this let's do it, offline.
Let's educate the world about what it really takes to be.
I think that it can be really good. So we're gonna have to talk about that. All right. So tell me one other clinical pearl, if you will, one other thing that's on your mind that you want to get off your chest.
Yeah, so here's another one. This is why I'm getting into the biohacking thing, and big kudos to David Asprey, who did Bulletproof Coffee. If any of you guys heard about him and his stuff, he's got quality stuff. I will say that. And he got into the biohacking. I was like, what is this biohacking thing, right? It's like, oh, you want to live to 100 and live a quality life? I've always studied the blue zone people and how healthy they were. These are people who live in different parts of the world, and their average age in the community is 100. So then David Asprey came along and did the biohacking, which is really the same principle. Here's my thing. Here's the thing is after you turn 50, let's just do it at 50, right? There's no reason for you still not to have a quality life. What is this that, oh, I'm 50, I'm tired all the time now, I have to have a nap. What's wrong? Something is wrong then, right? Yeah. You don't have to have a nap every single day. You don't have to wake up and feel achy and in pain. You don't have to have your skin so bad that, oh my God, you look like 100, right? It is something you need to turn your mind around and says, oh, wait, there's this biohacking thing. It's like anti-aging. Okay, what is that about? It's not just slathering cream on either. It is really doing some very viable things. Well, women, I mean, I'm Hungarian. Are you kidding? Zsa Gabor and me, we would put the cream on all the time, right? And just how we were raised, right? But it's like, yeah, no. So it's like, okay, what does it take? It comes from the inside out. Right. 100%. And so when people understand that, they're like, well, what does that mean? So we could talk about that more. But here's the thing. Just because you turn 50, 60 does not mean that life now is downhill.
Doesn't mean the world is over.
Doesn't mean the world is over. Libido could go up. Energy could go up. Sleep, like everything could be just fine for the next 50 years. Because that's what I plan on doing. Right. I plan on for my next 50 years. I have things to do. I have people to help and show them what it takes to live a really wonderful life. I need my energy. So it's like, and I'm not a type A personality. I know I might come across like that. I'm really not. Like, I like my downtime. I know. I go to the beach. I relax for hours at a time. But I'm just on fire right now to let people know, listen, have a quality life. You can do this. You don't have to worry about being sick and disease and cancer and Lyme and all this. Does not have to be on your radar. Let's take that off your radar now by giving you the stuff.
I agree. You know what? We're at that hour mark, and the Toxin Terminator, Amy Carlson, just came on.
It's a friend of mine. Yeah.
Yeah. And Amy, I don't know. Amy is with us on Wednesdays at times.
Awesome.
We may have to bring Amy in on this too.
Sure.
Amy, Dr. Seger and I are talking about a multi-live podcasty type of a thing. So I'll call you later and we'll see what's going on. But this has been fantastic.
Yeah, fun.
Dr. Seeger, this was great. I think we're going to talk a few minutes after this, and we'll see what we can. Yeah, we can make some plans. So I want to thank everybody for listening in today. Dr. Seeger was on fire. I love listening to her. Great person, great friend. Thank you very much for coming on today.
So much fun, Dan. Thank you for all the work you're doing. Appreciate it. And everybody else on here, now you listen, now go do.
That's right. Because knowledge without action is nothing. So get out there and do. So I want to thank everyone. Start off with one thing, because you're not running a marathon. You're not running a marathon the first day you're going out to run. Right. It is a journey. It's a lifestyle change. Thank you, Dr. Seeger. I want to thank everybody for listening in today. We're going to be back, I do believe, next week, probably in and around the same time, same bat station. And we will be discussing more stuff, biohacking, etc. Thank you very much for listening in. Everybody, go out and do now. Thank you.